Hey there. So today we're going to do banana bread. Now you see I've got five overripe bananas here. 2 eggs, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. My dry ingredients consist of a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 cups of flour, all-purpose, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I put in a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. The recipe did not call for that. And 1/2 cup of butter that I'm letting get to room temperature because I'm going to cream the butter with the brown sugar. And then I'm going to add the eggs. They'll be beaten when I add them. And then I'm going to mash the banana and add it to the wet ingredients. And then all that wet is going to go mixed with the dry. Now the recipe calls for 2.5 cups of mashed overripe banana. Now, I have no way of gauging that, but I will tell you this. After having done this recipe a couple of times, the more banana you have, the better. So this is the most I've ever done. First time I did it was with 3 bananas. Then I did 4. Today will be 5, and I think it's going to be even better. And the only other thing I'm adding to this that's not in the recipe is just a teaspoon of the Mexican vanilla. This recipe is on AllRecipes. So if you look up banana bread recipe, AllRecipes, it's the first one you find, and I'll include that link in with the final video. Okay, so to give you an idea of how much banana I'm using, that's 1, there's the 4, right? That's 1 pound, 6 3/4 ounces, okay? Now, of course, that's going to be without the peel. So what we're going to do is after I peel them, I'm going to weigh it again and show you the exact weight. And then I'm going to take it and measure it out into the cups so that we know how much of this banana fits into 2.5 cups. And I'm going to use all of them anyhow, so it doesn't matter. So we're going to tell you exactly how much banana we threw into this. Okay, so the butter's been out for a little bit, and what I'm going to do is see how soft it is. Yeah, it's really not that soft. So I want this butter a little bit softer so I can cream it. Yeah, it's getting soft. I want to cream it with the brown sugar. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let it soften a little bit more, and then I'm going to cream it. In the meantime, I'm going to beat the eggs. Now, I don't need to make a video of me beating eggs. However, I do want to point out that, you want to make sure that you break up all of the membrane so that it is a smooth, see how there's all that? You want to break that up. And that's why I use a 4-pronged fork to break up all that membrane. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you, but just to give you the idea. Okay, so you see it was 1 pound, 6 3/4 ounces. Now it's 1 pound, 1 3/4 ounces. So the peel did contribute to a lot of the weight of those bananas. But now what I'm going to do is mash it up and put it into cups to see how much we're exceeding the 2.5 cups of banana for the recipe. Alrighty, so what you see here is that's 1 cup of mashed banana. I'm going to put it in this other bowl, and we're going to do it again. And I'm guessing that, yes, this is the problem with these recipes, right? They give you an idea. I'm not going to exceed anything. Wow, I'm going to be short. I'm going to be short on banana. So 5 bananas, 1 pound of ripe banana is not enough. But this is going to have more banana flavor than the times I did it in the past because I'm using more banana than I have in the past. So this is interesting, right? That's not nearly a 1/2 cup. So 2.5 cups of ripe mashed banana, and I think you need about 1.5 pounds to make that. So that's very interesting. I am really taken back by that. Okay, so what I like to do is line my loaf pan. Wow, that's tricky. I would like to line my loaf pan with parchment paper, and I'm just running some butter across it. But basically, I'm going to squeeze this parchment paper into the loaf pan so that even though it's a no-stick pan, nothing's going to stick. I mean, that loaf is going to come right out of this paper nice and clean. And that's it, just a little bit of butter on the inside of the parchment paper. That's my trick. Actually, it's not a trick. I think everybody knows that. Okay, so the butter's looking nice, right? Because I don't want it melted. I want it soft so I can cream it. And I'm going to add in the brown sugar and give that a good mix together. After that's mixed together, we're going to add in the eggs and the other wet ingredients, and then we're going to mix it with the dry ingredients. Okay, so the brown sugar and the butter is creamed together. That looks great. It's time to add in the eggs. Right. Put the fork aside. I'll use this nice little spatula. And I'm going to add in the banana. All of that. Right, and I like it a little bit lumpy because I want little lumps of banana to be in the bread. Sometimes you see banana bread and it looks like there's walnuts in there, and it's actually not walnuts at all. It's chunks of banana. So I'm just going to stir that up. And again, I don't need to bore you with all of the details of that stirring. You'll see it at the next stage. Okay, teaspoon of vanilla. This particular vanilla is probably overkill for this dish, but that's okay. You know, it just happens to be the vanilla I have on hand. Stir that up. And then we're going to add in the dry ingredients. Just like that. And again, that's 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I put in a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, which is really not going to make any difference at all. And once that's all mixed, it goes in the oven. And into the baking sheet it goes. And I guess I should do it this way, huh? So you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm really not good at these camera angles. And I'm going to turn the video off so I can do a lot of scraping without messing up the video. But you see, you get the idea. And again, I'm really surprised how little banana I used to use and how good it came. This is probably going to be the nicest yet. All right, so there it is, all in my loaf pan in the parchment paper. And we're going to pop that into a 350 degree oven. Right, there it is, 350. And it's going to stay in there probably an hour. I'll set a timer for 45 minutes and then start checking on it. That's it. Alrighty, so I baked it for just under 60 minutes. I inserted a toothpick and it came out dry. And there it is, see now, look at that. No sticking. Isn't that awesome? And now we let that cool a little bit and then we taste it. And I will tell you, it smells like banana in here.